literally the way the music business is set up.
Yeah.
When you talk about publishing, it's about songwriters and performers.
Yeah. I wanted to bring this up too. I think people are confusing what a ghostwriter is with actually being
a collaborator.
Yeah.
Right, because the reason why I bring that up is because there's been with this whole Drake and Kendrick back and forth, somebody posted something that stated that this particular person had wrote something on Kendrick's project.
Right.
Just because somebody is credited on your project does not mean that they wrote or are considered a ghostwriter. The whole term about being a ghostwriter is you're not going to be in the liner notes.
Exactly.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? You got paid. You had a contract that was separate from what actually is shown to the people.
With an NDA.
Yep. Exactly.
Or it'll be like, because everyone knows that Jay-Z wrote Still DRE.
Come on, yeah.
And when I remember getting the CD single when I was working in radio, and I see 𝐻.Carter on this Aftermath CD. So I knew what it was. Some of them, the ghostwriters, they're not even really hiding.
Yeah. But like a for real ghostwriter, like if somebody's trying to hide something, they're not going to give that person a credit.
But they used
because
to
they knew. I mean, Dr. Dre is not. He's never been the one writing his lyrics.
Right.
It's always been either Ice Cube or Eazy, or in that case Jay-Z, or even Snoop.
But this is before a lot of times people would go through the liner notes super heavy.
Yeah.
Like, so of course I know what 𝐻.Carter, I'm not tripping. Even when I talked to the record rep at the time, I was like, oh, okay, I know what it is. But, there was a lot of times there was 𝐻.Carter on stuff, and Jay-Z wasn't famous enough to where we knew that 𝐻.Carter was the ghostwriter.
Yeah, like Rick Ross was a ghostwriter for Diddy at one point in time.
Yeah.
Skills is a ghostwriter for
Diddy.
For Diddy,
so
but
Royce
he doesn't even have credits to show that he was writing this.
Ness wrote a lot for Diddy.
Fiend was writing for Trina, of all people.
He was writing for a lot of No Limit, wasn't he?
Fiend did a lot of ghostwriting.
But then, because I actually at one point, I talked to Fiend, and he was like, I would drop hints in the raps that I wrote for other people. He wrote Trina's verse for the remix of Webby's I Need a Bad And when he said I put the lyrics, the cornbread and the cabbage, so anybody who listened and paid attention to me putting the cornbread and the cabbage.
I've said that before.
Yeah, exactly. So he would drop little things in there to let people know that I wrote that. And so the ghostwriting thing is kind of crazy because there's a lot of people that keep their lights on with their ghostwriting.
For sure.
Facts.
I think a lot of people are, to Terry's point, I think it goes even deeper. I think there's like an intentional, people are also trying to equate two things that don't equate to each other. So it's like you're trying to equate Kendrick Lamar, who's openly has multiple collaborators on multiple albums, especially when you think like To Pimp a Butterfly or just anything. If you just look at the liner notes, lots of
musicians everywhere
for sure.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to equate the fact that Kendrick has collaborators with ghost writing verses.
Correct.
And those, or just writing a verse for somebody else. And those are two completely different things. And I think it just goes a little bit deeper.
I saw exactly what Terry's talking about, because
to defend Drake is what this is.
It's all about defending Drake.
That's what it's about.
And what is said is y'all better keep the same energy. That's to defend Drake,
but it's
we
not
all
the
know
same energy.
It's not.
Like, because now it's coming out allegedly that Lil Yachty has written verses for Drake. Lil Yachty hasn't been credited for those verses, but there are, what do they call them? Reference tracks of him rapping songs that Drake ended up putting out. So that is ghostwriter energy.
Yeah,
facts.
Especially if Lil Yachty may have been listed on this album as a what did he have Lil Yachty listed as on that last album? I can't remember.
I don't know.
It wasn't as a ghostwriter, as he didn't have liner credits for these songs.
So he wasn't.
No, his name, like his real name, is put in there.
Oh, but not as a feature though.
No, not as a feature, but like apparently.
But now I don't think he is on that track.
Oh, I don't know. I
don't
speak
know,
on it.
but from my understanding, or how I describe a ghostwriter is somebody that you don't know wrote this verse at all,
and you're trying to keep it that way.
Right, you're trying to keep it that way. There's a whole reason they're referred to as a ghostwriter. A ghostwriter isn't somebody that's getting credited because you don't see it. They don't want you to
somebody
see
else that does.
And is this something? Do we think is specific to hip hop? Because we know that Jackson 5 didn't write them songs. We don't care because it was
they performed.
I want to say the term of ghostwriting actually came out and started with hip hop. Yeah, because I don't remember. Every other genre. Hell, you have singers have whole albums and they didn't write anything on them.
Look, this is literally the way the music business is set up.
Yeah.
When you talk about publishing, it's about songwriters and performers.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's split down the middle. That's why it's 50-50 like that. So it's like that. Yeah, I think maybe this ghostwriter thing, I think to your point about last week when you're talking about hip hop is always built on competition and stuff like that, it became just kind of a thing that, you write your own verses, you do your own stuff. And it just from that brolic wanting to have the respect of being able to do everything yourself, that kind of in my opinion, that's probably where this, if I were to guess, that's probably where it came from. It's just the wanting to have the respect for doing everything in that manner.
And I think that's
as opposed to different genres where, it's different.
And I think that's where a lot of the disdain from Kendrick came from with this whole Drake situation, is because it's always been a rumor that he's had ghostwriters writing for him,
which has followed him.
And if you're in the industry and you know the ins and outs, you probably know, he does have ghostwriters.
Yeah.
And he's parading around like he's the greatest one out here.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that such and such wrote this track. Like when he was talking about a light pack, they're saying that Daylight or whatever his name is.
Daylight.
The Daylight.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Daylight.
They're saying that he was low key referring to him writing for Kendrick, and he didn't deny it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he would be considered a ghostwriter because he's not credited in any of this.
Right.
This, you know what I'm saying? The public knowledge.
Was that towards Kendrick or somebody or Cole?
No, that was towards Drake.
Oh, that was toward Drake.
Yeah.
So Kendrick said that towards Drake.
Right. That was a light pack.
Oh, okay.
Your best was a light pack.
Yeah.
Meaning that Drake's best stuff was written by Daylight?
Yeah.
Got you. I thought you were saying the other thing. Okay.
Yeah. So, and these are people that aren't necessarily credited, but Daylight kind of alluded to, you should have dropped the other disc.
Yeah, I saw the tweet. Yeah. I saw that.
So it's like, I'm not telling you that I'm a ghostwriter, but I'm telling you that I'm a ghostwriter.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. I just didn't know what it was referring to when I read it. So
yeah, but people for some reason, like you were stating, are confusing composers or somebody that helps write a song.
They'll see a producer's name. Producer's name is going to be listed as the writer. So does that mean that the producers are? I don't know.
Look, everybody who's sampled on a record is given a writing credit there.
Yeah. Anybody that has any type of participation in a record is typically given a writer's.
Like I remember when they tried to come after Beyonce for something, and it was like, look at all the writers she has for this.
There was like 33.
Bro, it was a gang of them. It was a lot. But
you ever seen Adele's credits? Take a look at hers.
I bet it's super up there too.
Yeah,
but they don't talk about those type of artists like that.
Yeah, but I think it comes from a different type of culture too. To your point, I just don't think it's looked at in that manner. I think it's more of a collaborative nature in that way, and I think that's the difference in Kendrick's albums a lot of times too. Is it is more collaborative. There's a lot of people,
instrumental.
A lot of people eating off of one album as opposed to
good call.
And I guess maybe there are other people eating just secretly on these other albums.
I mean,
who knows? I don't know.
I remember seeing the interview with.
I'm never convinced Drake has written his own stuff. I'm just never.
You said you ain't going on that?
Even with the Quentin Miller stuff, and all that stuff from back in the day, I don't.
That kind of just swept that under the rug.
I know. So I don't know. I don't really care, but
I don't either at the end of the day. But it's just that you can't.
But the double standard, I do care about. Yeah.
You can't be out here acting like you're the greatest thing out here. And
are getting lobs.
It takes you off of some of those lists, even the consideration.
Absolutely.
If you
have an asterisk by your name.
If you got a lot of reference tracks by your name,
that's essentially playing with steroids.
That's kind of why.
That's really what it is.
Honestly, I think that's probably why Drake ranks so low on our list. Realistically, because he's not up there very high.
Yeah, but Drake, his perception, the pop part of it, which people for some reason think is a diss and try to fight. I think as he continues to perform and continues to become legendary
and continues to want to be compared to Michael Jackson.
Thank you. That part of him is starting to slowly overshadow the rap part. Yeah, what do we always say? Yeah, we know he can rap, but it's the other part is the part.
Yeah.
That's what makes him such a phenomenal artist. It's that part. It's not the rap.
For sure.
So,
he's a pop artist.
I just want
He's a good
to
one.
kind of clear the air on the whole ghostwriting versus.
No, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That's good talk right there.